Recording. A warm welcome to the Wellcoin Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have joining us Baked Bean Miner 2.0. Many of the investors in the community here will remember Baked Bean Miner, so it's the same team, and we'll be going into the new launch because we know it was super special and the biggest and greatest miner DApp of all time. But we'll go into that and have a bit of a recap shortly. But first, Kratos and Corby, can you give us your background and experience? That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Kratos. I've been in the crypto space now for about 3 to 4 years, officially with certain projects, launching projects and running projects for about a year and a half now. And also do a little bit of trading. I've got a trading channel now as well. I've been involved with several DeFi projects beforehand, and obviously then the most successful one of recent times was the Baked Beans original miner on the Binance Smart Chain. And yeah, I'd like to just welcome Corby now to give a little bit of introduction.
Yeah, so I've also been in the crypto space, 4 or 5 years. I don't know, time flies, especially in crypto. Originally, I'd gotten into the trading portion of it, and just over the past year and a half, I've gotten more involved on the project side of things, just mostly consulting on projects and figuring out tokenomics and ecosystems. So that's my background in crypto.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, guys. So yeah, like I said, Baked Bean Miner, it was the greatest miner DApp of all time. Can we maybe get a backstory, Kratos, and any lessons the team learned along the way?
Yeah, for sure. So we launched Baked Beans 1 November 6th in 2021. It took a little while to take off, but we built a pretty solid community there at one point in time before we got rid of all the bots and migrated the Telegram channel. There was over 35,000, around 33,000 members across the Telegram channels. So we had Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, English, Hindi, Filipino. Then it I ended up reaching a high of 35,559 BNB on the 21st of April 2022, which is its all-time high. It still holds the Binance Smart Chain record for the highest TVL in a miner. That was a dollar value at the time of around $15.5 million. That's US. Then it's obviously with all miners and return on investment dApps, they do have kind of a peak to them. They're not like a certain token or a coin where they can continually go up. Well, essentially they can if you keep having new users and investors come in. But we also learned that through some of the contracts in the functions that it wasn't actually sustainable as sustainable as what it could be. There was a few mistakes with the referrals and how they were able to impact the TVL in a negative way, being able to, with some of the larger investors and users, influencers, being able to refer a lot of people and then be able to drain the contract. And there was a few people that were able to drain a couple of thousand BNB from their own wallets, from the TVL into their wallets. So after a lot of deliberation, hard talks behind closed doors, and that's also part of the reason why K-Thanks isn't with me anymore. We got to sort of, sometimes friends don't do the best in business, so we ended up parting ways. I sadly left Baked Beans 1 and a few months ago, waited until it got to a certain point in the TVL, so I didn't jeopardize him in the project in that way, that it was left in his hands before launching Baked Beans 2, myself and with Corby as an advisor, and then with a separate team. So we had Jack from Frosty Flakes, another miner who actually wrote that contract from scratch. He was an investor in Baked Beans 1, so he's come across to help us here, and he's written the contract for us for Baked Beans 2. So a few of the mistakes that we learned were definitely the mechanics in the contract and how we could incorporate better taxes to kind of force an eating and rebaking habit. The rebaking meaning compounding. So that now has been implemented, as well as some of the referrals have been fixed as well. So it's a less rewarding referral system in the sense of your your beans that you get from having a referral down the line, but then also more rewarding as you can refer more people. You actually get your 3% daily. You can manage to make it up to 6% if you end up referring 250 people that deposit 0.5 BNB using your referral link. So there's a lot of mechanics in the contract for this one, Baked Beans 2.0, that have been changed to create more sustainability and longevity for the project. Also, one of the other things we actually moved from Telegram mainly to Discord for our main chat as well. Just we find that Telegram chats can be not as easily managed and become quite toxic, full of bots, and be more susceptible to FUD. So we do have our main chat in Discord now.
Awesome, Kratos. So for investors new to mining, could you sort of give an introduction how it works for investors to get involved?
Yeah, so essentially we'd prefer to call this one more of a return on investment DApp. We found that when we call it a miner, people are like, oh, what coins are you mining? And is there any mining going on in the background, like either with GPU mining and things like that? So it's more of a return on investment DApp, where in the sense, if you invest, you buy some beans with your BNB through the DApp, and then you see your rewards, you earn up to 3% daily on your rewards. So this one is actually a static miner, or a static DApp. So no matter whether the TVL increases or decreases, you'll still earn a minimum of 3% a day. With the new users coming in, that creates the TVL, which is the BNB locked value into the contract, then being able to pay out the users. We also have a giveaway external revenue wallet, which is being filled up with some of the people that are using the not following the system, which then we're going to be, once it gets to a certain point, using that to gain some external revenue to actually help feed the TVL, creating more sustainability for the project.
Awesome, Kratos. And you need, I was reading like on the white paper, 0.5 BNB in the miner to participate in the referrals. Can we go through how the referral system works for investors and influencers?
Yes, so similar to the Baked Beans 1 contract, BB 2.0 uses a referral-based program for bringing new investors into the project. So this one actually ensures more sustainability in the sense that if you bring in users, so the more users that you bring in, the higher your daily percentage will be. So they all have to deposit 0.5 BNB for it to become a valid referral, what we actually now call a bacon buddy. So at the bottom of our DApp, you have your bacon buddies referred. Once they have deposited 0.5 BNB, which can be in 1, 2, 3, 4 different manual deposits, they will become a valid referral. Once you hit, so this is where some of the incentive to keep sharing it and to keep promoting it across your family, friends, shop owners, on the bus, if on public transport, wherever you are in your workplace. If you get 1 to 9 referrals, just don't give any boost. You will just earn the standard 3% total daily. 10 to 24 referrals will give you an extra 0.5%. 25 to 49 referrals, 1% extra daily, so 4%. All the way to 50 to 99 referrals will give you 1.5% extra. 100 to 149 referrals gives you an extra 2%. 150 to 249 will give you 2.5% extra daily. And 250 plus actually gets you 3% extra daily. So you can earn up to 6% daily on your referrals. With the contract, we actually had to postpone it a little bit for launch to one of the mistakes that we found is that we didn't have a requirement for the referrals to have any BNB, a certain amount. So if they just deposited 0.01 BNB into the contract, which is the minimum amount you can actually bake or rebake, they could have jeopardized the system and been able to refer themselves 250 times. There's a lot of people in DeFi I know that have plenty of times on their hands. So if they were able to do that, they would have been able to get the extra 3% daily quite easily. So we actually made it a minimum of 0.5 BNB, which helps feed the TVL. And then also, once you do get the 250 referrals, that brings in a lot more BNB to the TVL. So helping everyone out, the community and all the users that are invested.
Kratos. I mean, yeah, you've got 4,268 BNB in the miner when I looked earlier today. So have a lot of influencers come on board and invested and, getting them referrals out there, and it's growing that way as well, sort of free marketing.
Yeah, it has. They've done a really good job. There's a few people that haven't followed us over from the original contract. We've been a little bit more picky with who we've gone with and how we've gone about marketing this one, using a lot more trusted people that we see that actually give us our the return on investment. So we just don't want to be spending marketing money willy-nilly and throwing it in the bin pretty much. So we're definitely being a little more choosy with who we bring on board and how we go about partnerships, and then also the influencers in that sense.
And there's a 1% deposit fee and a 5% withdrawal fee. I'm wondering what will that be used for? Will that go towards marketing into the future as well?
Yes, so it's actually gets spread up into a couple of different wallets. So there's the marketing wallet, the dev wallet, which for Jack, who from Frosty Flakes, he gets some of the fees there, which he's been feeding into Frosty Flakes. He's actually not taking any of the revenue himself for creating the smart contract. He's putting it into his own protocol to help his community out there. So they're actually our first partner. And then marketing the giveaway and has been tax wallet also, which we're always running constant competitions, giveaways. We have a new one coming up for the Chinese New Year. And we've also had a shilling competition for the last couple of days, and we've had some of our bean characters that were our first competitions. We had 6 of them, which are actually up on Twitter. So making sure that we use it to give back to the community for helping to promote baked beans, being active users, and in that sense, being always able to give back, because that's not something we do like.
So, yeah, I saw the baked bean sort of mascot things. I was wondering, like in the future, if you're planning to do an NFT series, it would look really cool and generate revenue that way as well.
Maybe not NFTs. I try to steer away from a little bit of the NFTs, but we're having a little bit of private talks at the moment to develop a game. So yes, that they will be used for something. Just we're figuring out what will be the best avenue for that. It's definitely an option because they are pretty cute looking. One of them's actually named after one of our dear friends, Rodney, who was an investor in Baked Beans One, who sadly passed away just before New Year's Eve, who's one of our community managers. He was his best friend, so it's quite sad to see the passing of Rodney, but we dedicated one of the names to him, the original mascot, which is on the DAP.
Really nice memorial. I'm sorry to hear that sad story. And how does it work for strategies for investors? What's the sort of, is it the same as baked bean miner? And what's the differences with the contract to some of that from the first to the 2.0?
So this is where a little bit of the complication comes in. There's been a lot of questions being asked in the community about I've eaten on this hour because there's a timer on the dashboard. So I'll try and run through it as best as possible and just keep it as clear as possible. There is kind of a forced eating habits for this one. There wasn't in Baked Beans One. We kind of just came up with the motto of 6 and 1, eat, rebake 6 days, eat on the 7th day. Now with Baked Beans 2, to force that upon people, we've actually got what's called the has-been tax. So if you make a deposit and eat within the first 24 hours of making your deposit, so say if you deposit 1 BNB, you get 0.3 rewards built up in the first 24 hours and you eat, you'll actually incur a 90% loss. That 90% loss, 50% gets split up between feeding back to the TVL, and then the other 50% actually goes to a giveaway and the external revenue wallet. That goes down now until the 10th day. So each day it goes down 10%. So within the second day, you eat your beans, you'll incur an 80% loss all the way down to day 10, which would just be the standard fees. Now we do have it in the white paper in hours and on the DAP in hours. So we have the most optimal time to eat beans is actually between the 216th to the 240th hour. If you eat within that period, you will receive 95% of your BNB rewards accumulated back into your MetaMask, Ledger, or Trust wallet. If in the period before that, in any of the days 1 to 9, the hours 0 to 216, you'll obviously receive the higher tax fees. This we obviously implemented to help sustain the TVL. So people that have been eating in that time, you are helping the rest of the community out by feeding back into the TVL. And then also the giveaway and external revenue wallet, which is building up quite nicely. So we're going to be looking into the options of what we can do in the best way to be able to create more revenue to feed the liquidity.
Great, Kratos. And yeah, you've got no tax to rebate. That's the compounding. How often would you recommend to compound? I imagine if someone's got 0.5 BNB and it might be different to someone who's got 10 BNB, and what sort of strategies are around the compounding?
Yeah, that's correct. So my actual strategy, people ask, can you rebake, or can you just let it sit? You can just let it sit and just see that you will get your 3% a day, 3% a day, and then eat on the 216th, 240th hour. Or you can rebake as many times as you like, as long as you have 0.01 BNB accumulated. So if it hasn't quite reached 0.01 BNB, the rebake button will actually not work. It just won't, the smart contract won't let it go through. But once you do hit 0.01 BNB, you can rebake. Now, my personal strategy is actually to rebake for the first 29 days like a madman, and try and build my BNB invested and rebaked as much as possible. So I actually pretty much rebake about 6 to 8 times a day at the moment. Pretty much whenever I'm at the computer and I see that it's accumulated enough, I will rebake. The gas fees are only 2 to 10 cents, I think they are. So after that period of time, after the 29 days, on the 30th day, around the 680th hour, you'll be able to eat your initial and then feed any back to the TVL if you want to help create more passive income for yourself and raise your 300% returns. But in between that time, you can rebake as much or as many times as you like.
Awesome. And I was reading there's a maximum payout per wallet as well for each investor.
Yeah, there is. So if you deposit 1 BNB, you'll be able to take out 300% of your initial investment deposit. So it's always going to be 300% of all the manual deposits you make. The rebaking doesn't count towards that. That counts towards a higher and faster return on investment. So it'll give you a quicker daily percentage as you've got more BNB in the TVL. But from all of the deposits you make, you'll only ever be able to take out 300%. We have a maximum wallet as well for the TVL of being 200 BNB. So each person, if they were to get to 200 BNB manually deposited, they'd be able to take out 600 BNB. Something that we didn't have in the Baked Beans 1 contract. This is just another one of those mechanics that took a long thought process and deliberation to ensure that we could see more sustainability and hopefully a longer time period than the original Baked Beans.
I see, Kratos. And so on day 10, like you said, there's a 10 to 90% tax. So it goes down 10% each day up to day 9. Then day 10, you can eat. And what's the recommendation there? Does it build up for like 24 hours and then it says it resets on day 11? So would you lose it if you didn't sort of withdraw it before the 24-hour period? How does it work?
So if you weren't to eat on the 216th to 240th hour on the date 10th day, it will go back to the day 1. So it will go back to the 90% has-been tax, and it's not good to become a has-been. So yeah, if it clicks over to the 241st hour on your timer on the dashboard, you will incur the 90% tax. It's then best to wait until the 456th hour before you can eat again with the no taxes or none of the has-been taxes. We do have a graphic and diagram in our Discord, which I can share to this chat, which has got a good explanation of the timers.
If you can send it to me in chat, I'll post it into the main chat because the chat's locked at the moment.
No worries.
So is there
One
like
other aspect, sorry, was we also have a 5 BNB max withdrawal per EAT, and that's just another kind of anti-whale mechanism that we put into the contract. So if you do once you hit 5 BNB in eatable rewards, it will no longer accumulate. So that's another aspect for sustainability we brought into it.
See, Corby. And so if is there a countdown timer like for all the investors on built into the DApp, or how does it work? Would you have to write down when you should sort of take it out before the 240th hour?
Upon eating, that timer resets. That makes sense.
I get it.
That's only on eating. So if you were to rebake or if you were to make a new deposit, it doesn't reset. It's only the eats that will reset that timer.
Awesome. And you mentioned a giveaway. What's the details there for investors? So I imagine like Diamond Hand holders are rewarded with people that take out early with that tax on day 1 to 9.
Yes, we've had some pretty good giveaways already. Like I mentioned, we had a shilling competition that's ending, I think tomorrow in a few hours, about 20 hours. And then constant giveaways for the community. So we've got a Chinese New Year. They give away red bags. I can't remember the actual name of it. Sorry, but they just constant giveaways. So naming the beans was one. We had a rebaking competition. So if the more times you rebaked in a certain period of time, we're giving back in that way. And then just anything we can think of to help promote the brand and the project itself. We're making sure that we do it and give back.
Awesome. And I was reading the contract's just recently been renounced and it's been audited by Stamp. I was wondering, a lot of miners use Stamp now. Is that some of the best audits for miners nowadays?
Yeah, so George Stamp, he's also got a project of himself. He's been quite renowned now in the DeFi space for making good audits that cover the DeFi space and especially return on investment dApps and miners quite well. So we chose to go with them. And yeah, he's very well respected. So it was something that we thought would get the faith from the community. And yes, the other question was in there.
The contract's been renounced.
Yeah, we actually kept the contract open as a proxy for the first 14 days. This was just to ensure that there weren't any faults. We wanted to make sure that the dApp was used by a lot of people and the contract was working as well as what we could. We also had a few functions that were taken out. So a blacklist function that I had for the launch, just in case it didn't go quite as expected and we got bot attacked and things like that. That was initiated, but then taken out before we renounced it. So yeah, once we knew it was safe and everything was working according to plan, we renounced it, and we did promise within the first 14 days and delivered on that promise.
I've just posted in the chat there. Yeah, there's some explanations of when the zero tax is there and when best time to sell for investors if you want to look that over. And yeah, so how come you moved your community from Telegram over to Discord? Do you think that's sort of better laid out and more popular for people to use?
Yeah, we've actually found that it's much better structured. It's taken me a little bit of getting used to. I hadn't used Discord in quite a while, but just being able to hold AMAs in the Discord, being able to have the separate channels, so all in one spot rather than having to click around for the different language channels. We have you can come into the chat once you do the welcome message and agree to the rules. You select your role, so we have all the different flags there. If you click on those, you actually get privilege to whichever language that you speak. So we have French, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Indian or Hindi, Arabic, Tagalog for Philippines, German and Italian at the moment. So they're slowly filling up. We also have the support tickets, so you can come in and ask about marketing, and then you'll be forwarded to the marketing chat with our marketing lead. And then also, yeah, just much better structure, being able to post the YouTube videos that we all have promoted, the Twitters, so all of our Twitter posts get automatically posted. AMA recordings, just crypto news, all the official links are in the chat, announcements, everything like that. So once we open a competition, we have all the people, if they've got their shill, the shilling in a file, they come in and just post their file to the shill channel. Yeah, that's much better, much easier to use. Also, different kind of investors we've noticed. As I said a little bit earlier, Telegram can be quite toxic, a lot of FUD, and just the way people go about things. So we found it was much better and much easier for us to control and manage.
One thing too that I think we've enjoyed is just being able to have like a fact section. So when new investors are coming in and they have particular questions on certain aspects, we're able to just refer them to that exact answer with not just saying, read the white paper. So that's just made it a lot nicer for the community too, and just being able to clean up the general chat.
I was going to ask Corby that, yeah, if for new investors that come into the Telegram or the Discord, yeah, there's sort of tutorials and maybe I imagine some YouTube influencers put the explanations and how they can get involved with a miner if they've never been involved before.
Yeah, and kind of like Kratos said too, we do have like a YouTube section, and we do have some YouTubers that are putting out videos in other languages too. So it's made it very easy for, if English is not an investor's first language, we can very quickly at least get them on a YouTube video that's in their native language as well too.
And yeah, so I think we've touched on it, but what's the marketing plan say over the next quarter? I mean, miners need sort of constant marketing, but you can have plenty of a budget from the miner as well, so there's no problem with how do you sort of spend it wisely and get more people involved with the baked bean miner scene. Did you get that question, guys?
Kind of lost part of it, but you were asking regarding the marketing plan for the next quarter, correctly?
Yeah, that's correct, Corby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So big thing that we've been focusing on, like Kratos mentioned earlier, is that we have been quite picky with the influencers that we've been going through for social media with YouTube and all of the other stuff, just more trusted people that we know are going to provide a good quality community to the project. And we've also, with all of our competitions, that's another thing where part of our marketing is that we're able to do so many competitions and giveaways that we can attract new investors by everyone loves to be able to win something. So that's just been a great aspect. And I think I'll let Kratos take over because he's got a couple things to talk about too on the marketing as well.
Yeah, so we're actually quite strategic on targeting the way we go about targeting at this point in time. We do have tiny URL links which track where and when and where people are clicking on the links, so where we're getting the most traction from, and then certain regions around the world. So actually at this point in time, we're targeting the Chinese, Philippine, Indonesian, Malaysian, and Vietnamese markets. It's somewhere that we've had a few clicks from, but not as many as would like. So obviously the US is quite heavily involved. The UK, Australia is already quite big, but those areas where we're just starting to touch the surface on. So we're targeting some of them at the moment. We've had a few Chinese videos go out. We've had a Filipino one go out, Tagalog, sorry, their native language, just over the past couple of days. And creating engageable content on social media. So things that actually are attractive to people, where they're being enticed to click on it and follow the links and everything like that. And also it's like the naming competition for the beans. It creates engagement with the community, something that a lot of other projects lack on how they actually deliver their social media. So they're not just posting partnerships or certain deals and things like that. It's more bringing people in and getting them to work with us and click on certain things to then be able to follow us and invest and then come and ask the right questions. Also getting a few blogs written up, so in Medium and Reddit and Quora, to make sure that we're in there answering questions and having proper articles and things like that written. It's always, the success is down to the community. So without the community and without that engagement from them, and then being able to build the community, obviously a project's nothing. So we're making sure that we do touch on most parts of the world again. Something that we did quite well with Baked Beans 1, and we're going about it in very similar fashion this way. We've got some personalized QR code stickers being worked on, and they should be coming very soon. So you'll be able to buy a sticker with our brand on it, and they will send it to you with a personalized QR code. So you'll be able to slap them up wherever you like. People will be able to scan it quite quickly on their phone, and it will take them to the DApp using your referral link. That's something that we will be nice and insensitizing for the users to buy and then also put up, because the more people that they bring in with their referral link, the better their rewards will be. It's some merchandise. I'd still love to have a baked beans beanbag, something that would be pretty cool just to chill out on. And then possibility of some billboards going up as well. We've just got to look at the right time and how we go about that, because obviously now being in a bear market and crypto not having the most positive look from the general community, we want to make sure that the money's well spent and not just wasted and thrown down the drain. So slapping up a billboard or throwing up a billboard somewhere around at this point in time, I don't think would have that much success. But maybe in a month, 3 months, we might actually see the return quite good from those.
Great. Of course. I mean, yeah, you built up that community in the baby miner and the trust, accountability, openness, transparency. And then, that's an honest project. Everyone can make the money, the team, the community, and then you brought it into the second one, baby miner 2.0. So, that pays. You can be doing mining, or you can be doing projects because your name's sort of respected in the space, and people are happy to hold and support and go out there and promote the project. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you. It's taken a long time to do that. Definitely been very active in the chats over the last couple of years, just keeping that name and building that respect with a lot of people. And then also doing lots of AMAs, like with yourselves, and then in our own channels again as well. We hold them every 2 or 3 days to make sure that all the questions are answered to new and old users. When we first launched, I think our first AMA went for just over 4 hours because our TVL was moving up that much that we kept it open until we hit the 1,000 mark. But just something with the making sure that we keep that engagement up with the actual voice chats. And a lot of other projects don't seem to, I'm not sure why, but they don't do it. And it's something that I've found that has helped build the community really, really well. So it's something we will continue to do always.
it's always nice to open the VC and have discussions weekly or whenever something is happening. But I'm wondering about the utilities. Are you looking to build out some utilities on top of the miner going into the future as well?
Uh, Not like we did with the baked beans one, not with the ecosystem and having the token and things like that. We just found that it didn't quite work as well as what we thought. So it's not something that we will be looking straight away at doing. The is the talk of a game, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, that the structure of what we're going to be doing and how we go about the game is yet to be disclosed. It's something that everyone loves to do. So a nice, fun and appealing game. We have a couple of good ideas and some graphic designers that are willing to help us there make it pretty cool. That's probably our main option and go-to at the moment. But at this point in time, it's just sustaining and creating as high a TVL as possible again, and seeing how long we can get this one to last for.
Awesome. And is it the same team mostly from the original, or have you changed a few people? So have you still got most of the marketing team, because they were amazing in the first one, and that's helped to make such a great success?
Yes, so still got the same marketing lead, Mr. FOMO. So he's in here to love beans. He's a really good marketer and knows his stuff. Has been able to save us quite a lot of money, especially when it comes to the YouTubers trying to charge way too much for videos and sieving through the ones that have botted channels, or the ones that actually have verified channels with real community and users. We have a new developer, so the contract developer was actually Jack, as I mentioned a couple of times, from Frosted Flakes. They're going through a little bit of a change at the moment. When I first saw how he'd done that contract with them and read through it, I was quite amazed. So we've become quite close friends in the sense of business. So he's been able to write our contract, and then we've got new community managers and leaders, so Corby and Tenjin. Our community leaders. We've got MJ, who was the first moderator I hired with Baked Beans 1. He's still on board. And then apart from that, it's pretty much all new guys. So a few mods from different languages. There's that Zaki that can speak French and Arabic. I think Esnam in Discord is Italian. Angel from the Spanish community. And yeah, then a couple of the Filipino guys have come across as well, so XTian. But apart from that, it's pretty much just myself and Love Beans that have stayed on from the main one, and then just a new community sort of built.
Great, Kratos. And are you building up any partnerships in the space? I mean, I don't know whether miners work together, or it's a rivalry there, or partnerships with some projects with tokens, or companies, any partnerships?
Yeah, we do. So our first one obviously was with Frosted Flakes, and then I'm in talks with a couple other people at the moment. It's quite difficult though. A lot of them, as we noticed with Baked Beans 1, there was a lot of forks from that contract. So and most of them, no, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them did rug pull and weren't. What's the word? They weren't very honest and transparent, the teams, and then ended up rugging a lot of their communities. So trying to find respectable and honest ones is quite difficult. I am in talks with 2 others at the moment to see what we can do and arrange, and then being able to have some form of the TVL, the revenue that we can gain each other, helping each other's projects out in that way. So we are kind of rivals, but we do like working together, especially the couple of trusted teams that are around. There's MOF and FOF, I think, and Mist and a couple of others that, definitely got good teams. So it's something we are looking at. The bigger partnerships like tokens and things like that, probably a little bit harder for us to partner with, just in the sense of being completely different aspects of the DeFi space. But anyone that does come along and offer their partners, we do take on board seriously and look into it.
Okay, great. Kratos, let's open it up to the community. Let's see. Syed, you had a question for Kratos at Baked Beans Miner, or Corby? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. I have a few questions. So I was wondering, is the baked bean version 1 abandoned by the team, or it is still operational?
So I'm not actually part of the team anymore. It's still operational. I don't think the DApp is up and running. I did look just a little bit earlier. I think there's still a few $6,000 or $7,000 in the contract. So you can go to the old Bakehouse chat, get the contract address, and manually use BSC scan and either hatch your beans or rebake your beans or eat. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on there.
Okay, understood. Okay, it's written on your white paper that the giveaway wallet may be used to benefit the community by utilizing bots, manual trading, and you will be using Bybit and the Pancake swap pools. So I was thinking that who will be deciding that which token is traded and to invest in which pools on the Pancake swap. I mean, will the core team going to make this decision, or the community will be able to vote on this matter as well?
That's a good question. Thanks for asking that. That means I can get to plug my Corby's and myself's trading channel. Corby and I actually run a trading channel called KC Traders. It's just on Discord as well. So we actually will use some of the calls that we do there and either open up a low leverage trade or even just a spot trade, depending on the chart at the time, so the support and resistance and things like that, to get some gains. And then also I've been quite an avid trader on Pinex using the bots, so either just spot grid trading bots or some leverage bots to get some revenue from in that way. Now PancakeSwap would probably be our last option with some of the syrup pools and staking, just due to the fact that the fees that you have to do for going in and out of them, and then also the not having as much control over it. So if all of a sudden someone was to take out a lot of what they've put in, then obviously it becomes risky investing in some of those pools. So having our own, being able to manually look after our own trades or our own bots, being able to open and close them when we feel a need, or when it does hit the support and resistance, or we've got the percentage gain that we're looking for, or be able to stop the loss at a minimal amount, we will be doing that.
Wonderful.
Kind of with that
Okay.
too, for the community, is at the end of every month too, we do a whole spreadsheet of all the calls we made and the profitability of that. So I mean, that's going to be at least reassuring for the community as well, to see that we have months and months of these spreadsheets, that full reports on the trades we've made.
Awesome. Okay, so you said that you have renounced the contract ownership, and you also said that you waited for 14 days for finding any flaws. So I was wondering that, don't you think it will prevent your developer team to maybe update or improve the contract functionality in the long run, which may hinder the growth of the Baked Beans version 2?
This is why we did keep it open for the first 14 days, and we took months to design this contract. All the functions in it and surrounding it, so the mechanics took a long time for us to think about and ensure that they were the best ones that we could come up with. So we actually haven't seen any other contracts that have got the mechanics like we do, that can create self-sustainability. At this point in time, I don't think it will jeopardize the project in any way. It's working quite miraculously well for what we have developed. So possibly, yes. Obviously, there is always going to be, nothing can be ever 100% perfect, but we've done our best to make sure that it is as close to what we think is perfect for a return on investment DApp. But no, I think it's pretty good for the way it is now.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, final question. I was wondering, is there any auto compounding feature available in the version 2, or users can only compound manually?
No, so we kept this. That was one thing when we opened up the questions for the baked beans one, and what people would do and what they wouldn't do if we were to do it again. And then now a lot of people ask for an auto compounding function. I like the fact that you have to go onto the DApp and actually initiate with it and manually do things. It becomes quite fun going in and rebaking and being like, I rebaked and I just ate and all this sorts of stuff. And I was able to get this many rewards and all that sort of stuff. So it's just part of the fun. Something that I didn't want to do. Just to having actual users go into it, use it, and it keeps it in their mind to then be able to share it with everyone else. Whereas if you just had something that you invested in and then let it go, you kind of forget about it sometimes. I know there's tokens that I find in my wallet sometimes that I'm like, oh wow, I can't even remember buying that, or it's been in there for so long. But with baked beans, you going in and being able to do it, it's always at the front of your mind, and something that's we find appealing in the sense of like gamifying it kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It will also keep the community engaged and work for earning profits. Thank you so much for answering. How about you, Glenn?
That was good questions, man. Thank you.
Question.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
Aisha, you had a question for Professor Colby at Baked Bean Miner 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So it's mentioned on your white paper that Baked Beans 2.0 contract has been carefully designed and developed to eradicate all the flaws from original Baked Beans contract. I was wondering what flaws did you have in the original contract, and why did you decide to develop a new contract from scratch rather than updating the original contract to remove flaws and improve contract functionality?
I'll break that down into two questions. We found a lot of problems with the first contract. So obviously the referrals, they were having it jeopardizing a negative impact towards how they used and the TVL. The rewards were too high. The referral bonus was too high. There wasn't any forced procedures to, not forced as such, but no punishment or incentive to keep rebaking or eating. So you're able to eat as much as you like, to rebake as much as you like. So there was just too many things that were wrong in the first one. And also the developer that we used for the first one is now MIA. I'm not sure. Hopefully he's okay. He hasn't actually responded to me in a long time. He's an old friend of mine. So having a new developer was the reason why we had a new contract written. So in the sense of why I got Jack to write it was because of how I saw Frosty Flakes was developed. He's a very, very intelligent man. I've got a lot of respect for how he does things and the way he goes about things. So just having the new developer is why we had the contract written from scratch again.
Also on that note is when we renounce the contract, it's immutable. So you, in theory, can't change it after it's renounced as well, too.
Understood. That makes sense. Okay, I was also wondering, BNB that are deposited by the investors into TVL, will these funds be protected by insurance in case of any exploit or malicious attack?
Sorry, I missed the last couple of words there. What was that?
I mean, in case of any exploit or malicious attack, will these funds be protected by insurance?
No, there's no. So if it's being DeFi, it's quite hard to insure something like this. I wish I could insure it and create that extra layer of security for people, but no. The only way any of the TVL can be touched now would be for a hacker, yes, to come in and exploit it. Good luck to them. It's something that I haven't seen been done in a protocol like ours. And then there's the extra layer of security on our website, so the DNS and the all of the required security for data and things like that on the DApp. So we think it's pretty safe, as safe as what we can make it anyway.
Okay, got it. I've also read that by buying Omega Yield NFT, users will benefit from Omega Yield NFTs in Baked Beans 2.0. I was wondering, do you have any partnership with Omega Yield, and how will NFT benefit investors in Baked Beans 2.0?
Mega Yield? This is all news to me. I have no idea who Mega Yield are. Sorry. No, I might look into that now after this AMA.
Yeah, news to me as well. So you could get the link to that information and send it to Kratos or I, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, please. I'd like to look into that because there's no official partnership or anything with those guys. So did you say Mega Yield?
Yeah, Omega Yield NFT. I have read on your website. I'll share the link where I've read.
Okay, no worries.
Uh,
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I really liked baked bean stickers. By the way, I was wondering who created these amazing stickers.
So that's our graphic designer. She's a very dedicated woman from Malaysia. She's got a small team that works with her. So she works with our marketing guy and been with him for several years now. So it's someone that's she's a very good artist. And I really appreciate what she's been able to do for us. I like how the new logo looks, and it's very nice.
Okay. Okay. Last thing from me. I was thinking daily return, which is 3%. Will it increase by compounding?
No. So the only way that you can get a higher daily percentage is from referring more people and having them deposit 0.5 BNB using your referral link. And then once in the white paper, it explains the numbers. So once you have more referrals, like 10, you are now getting 3.5% a day. So the only way to actually get a higher daily percentage is to bring in more users to the protocol. And then once they've come in and used your referral link, then you'll be able to get a higher daily percentage return.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much for answering all my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, Aisha. Yeah, going back over that, it still says on the Moon Arch app that it's a proxy contract that can be totally changed, but I'm thinking Moon Arch needs to update that. So, with it being renounced now, the contract can't be changed. Was that the case, guys?
Yes, that's correct. I'm actually going to DM Moonarch Dev, the Moonarch Dev, after this and hit him up about that. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's open it up to Jason. You had a question for Kratos or Corby here at Being Miner 2. Now let's go to Venice. You had a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. I have a couple of the questions to ask to Big Beans team. While going through the white paper, I read an example of one-time referral that the beans a person get are deducted with 5% referral and 1% marketing fee. So if he used a referral of someone, so does it mean if he didn't use the referral, then that 5% won't be deducted from that from his beans? Am I right?
So no, you don't actually receive any loss when using a referral. They all, your upline referral, so the person's referral code that you use gets a 5% bonus. There's actually no negative impact towards your investment that you put in using a referral link.
Okay, so don't you think then people would prefer not to use anybody's referral, so they don't want their beans to be deducted for referral purposes?
No, but your beans don't get deducted, bro. So when you use a referral link and you put in, say, 1 BNB, your upline referral, so the person's referral code that you use gets a 5% bonus. It's actually incentivizing people to share their referrals, and then the more referrals you use, then the higher daily percentage you can get. It's actually a positive referral system here, not any negative impact. So you don't incur any loss at all to your own investment. The only investment you lose when putting any money in, even using a referral link, is just the taxes.
And one more thing. Is there any way for users to appeal or contest the penalties or withdrawal limits imposed by the has-been tax?
Any appeal? No, there's no appeal.
Yeah, so being it's a smart contract, it's built right into the contract. So it's just the contract doing exactly what it was designed to do.
Okay, and do you allow community to just have a kind of feedback or a consult to the community if somebody is not willing, or somebody who do not agree with the terms of the has been tax and want some changes in that?
So on that, just kind of that note too, going back to, it is now a renounced, immutable smart contract. We could not change it even if we wanted to. I guess the easiest thing would be is if someone doesn't like the taxes, I would just say then you need to choose to invest somewhere else. This whole protocol with these taxes, we designed this to create long-term sustainability to the project. So there's a ton of thought and hours that all went into this to create long-term sustainability for all the investors.
Yeah, it completely makes sense that it's renounced and you can't change it. Okay, so in future, do you guys have any plan to also invest in any other real life assets and distribute the profit among holders or people who take part in this initiative, or any other utilities you guys have in mind apart from just baking the beans?
So we did bring up earlier, we have the giveaway wallet that when that hits a certain level, we will start to do external revenue, like trading, all mentioned in the white paper. And with that external revenue, that would be put back into the TVL of the project, thus creating more sustainability for everyone who's involved in the project.
There's also like a lot of the self-sustainability mechanisms of the contract. So the people that don't do their research, just the basic research into reading the white paper or asking some of the questions before they invest, so there has been tax. 50% of that EAT will actually just go straight back into the TVL. So essentially, you do get punished if you haven't done your research and you want to eat too early. So it has been GEAT tax, whatever you'd like to call it. That does help out the rest of the community and the user base by help feeding the TVL. And yeah, just the self-sustainability of the mechanics are quite well designed. It did take us a long time to figure out how we should go about it, and making sure that they were all developed correctly. A lot of late night conversations and chats that weren't always the most pleasant, but yeah, at the end result we think is pretty good.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, because we've had over 20 BNB already get put back into the contract from people miseating and getting taxed.
Yeah, I was saying that Big Beans is really doing great, and there are other ROI projects, but you guys are doing pretty good. And it's been really nice talking to you, and thank you so much for answering my questions as well.
Yeah, thank you for your questions.
Thanks.
Thank you for the questions, Dennis. Let's move to Vermes. You had a question for the Baked Beans 2 team. Go ahead. Please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Thanks for this great opportunity. My question goes like this. I read all the people who hold your token can vote for the project. As in the BSC, not many people hold token for a long time. How will you want to change this, and how will you incentive long-term holders? You get the question?
I don't quite understand. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he's thinking it's a token. Maybe didn't miss the first half of the call, but I suppose yeah, we can ask. He's sort of saying, how do you get people to hold, but it's not a token, so probably we can't answer that. Let's move on.
If you don't hold and you just try and eat your beans too early, you do get the has-been tax. But yeah, it's I think it's pretty insensitized to just rebake as much as possible and eat in the correct period of time to get your passive income.
Definitely. Well, maybe guys, if we can do a recap for the community investors that joined the call late. Someone was asking a question there. Maybe they've not listened to the first half. So if we can go over it for anyone that's late on the call, that'd be great, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. So Baked Beans 2.0 is a return on investment DApp. It's a static locked rewards pool, but on the BNB, so Binance Smart Chain. So you invest BNB into the contract, which is locked, and then you earn up to 6% a day. So if it starts at 3%. Then, depending on how many referrals you get, which is a positive referral system here, from 0 to 9, you get 3%, and then as it periodically goes up, so as you refer more people in that use a 0.5 BNB deposit, you'll receive a higher daily percentage. So you'll be able to get your ROI quicker. It's a very simple DApp that you can just connect your MetaMask, Ledger, or Trust Wallet to, and then invest your BNB. You've got to use your standard gas fees for Binance Smart Chain. You have a 1% in fee and a 5% withdrawal fee. That's on the without the has-been tax. During the first day 1 to day 10, there is a periodic tax from 90% down to the standard fees on the 10th day, being the 216th to the 240th hour. If you eat within that period of time with the has-been tax, you will receive a 90% all the way down to 10. That gets fed back into the TVL and to an external revenue and giveaway wallet, which we're using to help give back to the community and then be able to have some outside revenue gained that we can feed back into the TVL. All you do is you buy your beans, you rebake, and you can eat. Just if you'd like to read the white paper, it's pretty advisable because with the mechanics of this contract, there are a lot of punishments. Not a lot of punishments, sorry, but punishments if you do it too early. And we've designed this around being as self-sustainable as possible and creating a project that lasts longer than the original Baked Beans, which is still going. A 1 year in DeFi is quite long, so we're hoping this Baked Beans 2.0 can last a lot longer. We've got ongoing marketing, so with YouTubers, AMAs, some personalized stickers, merchandise, plus blogs and articles being written, and trying to get it on board with a few decent influencers, as well as partnerships. Then also just being able to refer all your friends and family, anyone like that is interested in crypto. And now's a good time to sort of be getting into it because everything's dropped quite a lot the last 14-15 months, and then you'll be able to see some nice returns from the very simple Baked Beans 2.0 DApp over the next hopefully extended period of time.
Okay, thank you very much, Kratos. It's been great speaking to Kratos and Corby today. It's our 4th AMA. Like I said, Kratos has been around since November 2021 with the original Baby Miner, so he's well respected and trusted in the space. You know, it takes a long time to build up that reputation, and it helps you make great, successful projects. He's got a great team behind him, a great marketing team. So it's always a pleasure to have him on the show. And as much as we don't give financial advice, it is safe in that aspect, and that's half the battle. Just having someone that will put 110% in, and you can trust. They want to make a living. They want to help the community make a living. If you want to get involved, it's passive income, and in a bear market, it can be quite good to get passive income and slowly generate that for the future. As we say, Whalecoin Talks for educational research purposes. We recommend the community investors check out the website, the white paper, and if you've got any questions, you can join the official socials there in our links in our main chat. And it's been great speaking to you today, guys. I think we've got spin the wheel for 4 lucky winners, $25 each as well. If you're there, Acti.
Nice, and thanks for the kind words, Glenn. I really appreciate it. Look forward to coming back again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Great chat.
Yeah, respect where respect is due, so we always support people who are really honest and genuine in the space, and just trying to make the VSC chain or mining more respectable and great for long-term holders.
Thank you, and good luck to everyone in the spin wheel.
Awesome. Are you there, actually? Ready for the spin the wheel?
Yeah. I'm trying to share.
Here,
Just give me a second here, guys. I'm putting up the wheel in a second. I'll do some spins.
After the spins, I'll finish the record and send over a copy for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into the main chat for our investors that couldn't join the call today.
Thank you. I'm also looking forward to the Solana Twitter space coming up for you guys next. I won't be able to listen in. It's getting quite late here, but I'll definitely listen to the recording of that one.
Awesome. Yeah. Noah will be doing that one tonight, and we'll all be listening in. It should be a great spaces.
I've been trying to share my screen here, Glenn. I don't know if you guys can
Oh,
can
it's
see
coming
it.
up now. Yeah, yeah.
It's coming up.
I got
Okay,
it now,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Right, there we go. Let me shuffle it a bit around, and we'll spin it up. And we're doing 4 winners tonight, you said. So good luck, everyone. And as always, guys.
4 winners.
Yeah, 4 winners. I'll collect your names, and we'll announce the winners after after we're done here, and you guys can claim your prizes. And we do still have the chat locked as always, so we have all the official links there. Don't get lost along the way. Congratulations, Mr. Crypto.
I think you might have to give that one away again.
This one's
not allowed to win.
Oh my god! Yeah. Okay, so we're respinning this one. Well, that's interesting. There you go. You're lucky, sir. Yeah, we basically collected everyone's names. You know, it's I don't know if we ever had like one of the guests actually win one of the prizes. So yeah, that's could be bullish, guys. You know, this could be a bullish sign. So as I was saying, you know, the links are there. They're all in our main chat. As Glenn always says, you know, do your own research, listen in, try to find something that's to your liking, you know, in this sort of bearish market that we're in. But it's coming back, so don't worry. 2023 is gonna be a great year for crypto. All the builders, everyone that's been around for a while, is still here, still out to create some cool DeFi products for all of us. So yeah, this has been great. It's lovely to have the Big Beans team here again with us. It was lovely to listen in. I collected your IDs here, and we'll post those after we're done here in a few minutes. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you Kratos for being here, and thank you to the Big Beans team. You know, it's been great for us to hear all about it, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks guys, really appreciate it. I'll speak soon.
Take care, Kratos and Colby. Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yep, have a good one. Thanks again.